So this morning we welcome Randall Partin, who is the Provost of the New Mexico Conference, the United Methodist Church, and he is a part of this denominational leaders gathering. And so I wanted to have a chance to visit with Randall and ask him why he is a part of this and what he is involved in New Mexico that brought him to this place. So Randall, thank you for being here and glad you're part of the event.
Thank you for having me. It's very exciting.
So will you share a little bit about why you said yes when you got this invitation?
Sure. Part of my responsibility in the conference is to make sure that organizationally, institutionally, things continue to run as they've always run. But another big part of my responsibility and role is to, as the Book of Discipline says, to be a steward of the vision for our annual conference and to look beyond what's possible and what currently exists to imagine new ways of reaching new people. And so part of the reason why I'm here is to really get a better understanding of what's happening at the edges of institutional religion and the opportunities that exist for community building and meaning finding and all the things that we know are happening in our culture, that these things are happening and that groups are gathering to find meaning and purpose and personal transformation and world transformation. And the church wants to be a part of that. And I think that deep down in our DNA and our roots, our people and our faith communities want to be a part of that and want to rediscover what it means to be part of something that's happening like that. So for me, it's a great opportunity to be a part of a conversation that I'd love to bring back to our institution.
Great. Can you say a little bit about your context in New Mexico that maybe makes that fertile ground for innovation?
Sure, yeah. The New Mexico Annual Conference stretches from the Trans-Pecos area, West Texas, which is far West Texas, the whole state of New Mexico, and into Arizona and the Navajo Nation and up into Utah. And so it's a huge, huge territory. And as you might imagine, stretching from Texas to Utah, we run the gamut in terms of where people are in the religious landscape. We have churches and communities that are very, very still churched and very much part of the Bible Belt. And we have churches that are and communities that are very, very Western in their orientation with a lot of secularization and a lot of religious nones and dones. And so in our context, there's great opportunity. I see us as kind of at an inflection point in our culture where we can be a part of the conversation between the institutional church that is still vibrant and vital in some parts of our conference and communities that have stepped away from the church or no longer been part of the conversation with the religious institutions anymore. And so for us, I think that there's a great opportunity for us to be a kind of bridge space for these kinds of conversations.
Right.
Now, that's the biggest part for me. We have congregations throughout all of that. We have 140 congregations in New Mexico and West Texas and Utah and Arizona. So great sort of opportunities for points of those conversations to take place.
Right. And some real possibility for even experimenting, it sounds like.
Right.
Openness for that.
Yeah, one of the things that I like about our annual conference is that because we're a smaller annual conference, we're a lot flatter in our orientation, and there's a lot more collegiality and a lot more diffusion of responsibility and leadership. And so it's possible, for example, for us to have conversations in Gallup, New Mexico and Odessa, Texas, and for us to connect those people in ways that in a larger conference, those folks may not ever see each other.
Right.
So I think for us, we're small size, but that facilitates some real meaningful conversations, I think, or some opportunities for meaningful conversations.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So in this gathering, there are 11 faith traditions represented, not all Christian.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about what you're excited about that, what maybe, I don't know, your wonderings about that?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, I think I'm excited to discover and to learn from our sisters and brothers in terms of that what we're experiencing, the institutional challenges that we're experiencing, everybody's experiencing, and that these are not peculiar to our tribe. You know, that like, oh, well, you're having the same problems we're having. Well, how wonderful. But I also think that, you know, the innovation, the opportunities that exist for all of us, and for the real sort of deep, meaningful conversations about what's really happening in our world and what's really happening in our faith traditions and the possibilities that exist is really, really exciting and a huge, huge opportunity as well.
Great. Glad you're here. Thank you for
I'm
saying
glad to
yes.
be here. Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Without hesitation.